Hello and welcome here to TalkFCB and welcome back to the channel here today, guys, as we are going to be taking an early look at Xavi's summer transfer plans when it comes to our defence. Because as we know, the defensive area of the field is something that all of us Barcelona fans often look at and want to improve, are striving to strengthen even further. And defence, of course, is a fundamental part of any team that wants to compete at the very, very top. We are going to be looking today at some of the possible signings that Xavi is going to look to make this summer, and also how he's going to utilise the options that we already have. It is coming right up, so let's get to it. Because if we do indeed kick off at centre-back, because that is a position that at Barcelona often comes under real scrutiny. That is an area that is always looked at there with a desire and a need to improve. And of course, one of the players that we simply have to start with, it is Araujo. What we need more than anything else is to tie him down on a long-term deal. And we are fully expecting, in the coming days, Araujo to renew at Barça. It is widely believed right now there is a complete agreement between the two parties. Araujo was desperate to stay at the club. He instructed his agent to get this deal done, and he is going to be a huge part of Xavi's plans, a huge part of our defence, and a leader in this team. What is interesting, though, when we are talking about Araujo is some of these rumours here linking Barca to Chelsea's Antonio Rudiger, who of course will become a free agent come the summer. And there have been plenty of talks that Barca were really interested in Rudiger. We all saw those images that appeared online about the secret meeting that took place there between Almani, Jordi Cruyff and Rudiger's agent. And it was just a bit coincidental that that secret meeting took place just a few days before Barca were due to meet with Araujo over this renewal, and I just think that meeting there was simply designed to put a bit of pressure on in those negotiations to make it seem as though we were looking elsewhere. And honestly, right now, I do not expect us to pursue this deal any further. I think Rudiger wants big wages, and I don't think Barca will go down that road. However, when it comes to Andreas Christensen, things are a little bit different, because he is happy to accept there a salary significantly lower than Rudiger is asking for, and everything remains on track. We all know that Christensen has agreed that deal with Barca. It is widely believed that he will become a new Barca player come the summer, and that of course comes with Xavi's approval, who loves the way that he can play out the back. He sees him as a player who could really fit in with what we want to do here, and he is very likely to be one of our new summer signings. And of course, when you're looking at the summer, there is already plenty of speculation surrounding the futures there of the likes of Clement Longley, Samuel Umtiti, and also Oscar Mingueza. I would say that all three of those players' futures are very much in doubt. I think the club would certainly be open to offers for all three of them, and should of course any of them accept to leave, I think we would certainly be granting that wish. And with Piqué, of course, likely to stay at the club for one more season. There have been a few rumours here and there about retirement, but I honestly don't believe that. I think with the way that he's played this season, the way that he has looked under Xavi, he will remain at the club. So then the question would be, are we okay then with one centre-back signing? Is that going to be enough this summer? With the arrival there of Christensen, you've also, of course, got Eric Garcia, young, improving. He's been really impressive in recent weeks. Quite clearly, he can grow in this team. And then, of course, you're looking elsewhere. Could we see opportunities? Could we see a place in the squad, perhaps, for someone like Mika Marmol? Are we going to look to Barca B to maybe give one of those younger players an opportunity to add depth and be a rotational player in the first team? Or would you guys like to see another centre-back addition? Then, of course, there is the question of left-back, and this is a position that certainly among Barcelona fans, you can see right here from the poll that I did yesterday, when it comes to defensive positions that we want to strengthen, left-back, it is a priority this summer. I think all of us feel as though we are too dependent, we are solely dependent on Jordi Alba. And it's been like that for quite some time. And of course, there's no denying that under Xavi, he has significantly raised his level. I think he's been really good, he's really improved, and he's shown some excellent form. But that doesn't take away from the fact that, you know what? He's not getting any younger. He is still 33 years old. He is still someone who struggles with injuries. Jordi Alba is not somebody for me who can play every minute of every game all the time. time, you've got to have another option, and we need to have another left-back in the first team for sure. Now, of course, in the past, we've spoken plenty about Alejandro Balde, someone who is yet to make that permanent step up to the first team, really cement his place in that first team squad. We have seen flashes of him, we have seen certainly glimpses of his quality, but he has spent a lot of the season rotating there between the first team, being in the squad, and also with Barça, he's also had a few injury problems too. I think the feeling is right now with Balde, he's still only 18 years old. He still needs more time, he needs more games under his belt to improve, and I don't really see him being that left-back option for next season. But of course, in the media, and we have heard very, very frequently, rumours there to the likes of Jose Gayà from Valencia, also Alex Grimaldo from Benfica. Those two players have not only been linked to Barça over the past few months, but I would actually say over the past few years. It's very, very clear that we have been tracking them, we've been scouting them for a long, long time, but it remains to be seen whether this summer a deal could be done for either of them, and whether Barça will go down that route. Because interestingly, and this is the really interesting thing for me, yesterday, Sky in Germany reported that Barça are very, very interested in signing Borna Sosa from Stuttgart. Sky say that Barça have already sent scouts on a number of occasions to watch Borna Sosa in action, and also that talks have started with his agents over a potential deal for this summer, and Sky in Germany claim that there is a €25 million release clause in Borna Sosa's contract at Stuttgart. And I just want to talk to you a little bit about this young man, because he's 24 years old, he's a Croatian left-back, and for me, he is such an underrated player. He has been absolutely fantastic, really going under the radar in the Bundesliga over the past few seasons. He can operate there as an outright left-back in a 4 at the back, but he can also play as a wing-back too. He is very much used to going forward. Fantastic deliveries into the box that he can put in, really good final ball. And just look at the numbers. Last season for Stuttgart, from that defensive area, he registered 9 assists to his name, and he's got 7 assists this season. And this is in a team, let's not forget, who are right down the bottom of the Bundesliga. They are fighting for survival, and he has still been putting up really, really good numbers in the final third, and I think he'd be a player who could certainly fit Barça, and also a player who could come in, obviously very important now in our financial situation, but I don't think he would command very big wages at all, and I can certainly see why Barça are looking at Sosa. But it is interesting, because even now, as we switch over to the other side, over to right back, you start talking about Sergio Dest. Now, this is interesting because there have been quite a few calls, there have been a few suggestions that maybe Dest could also be used as that backup left back. He could also be used in that area, given how versatile he is. We know that he's very, very comfortable playing on the right. He's also very comfortable playing on the left as well. So maybe we could use him in that role if and when needed. But of course, if you did do that, then when Dest was playing at left back, he wouldn't be able to be our right back. So then there's an entirely different conversation when it comes to that role. And it's interesting now because Barca, of course, were looking at Mazraoui from Ajax to come in on a free transfer in the summer. That also left a lot of discussion and debate about the future of Sergio Dest. But right now, it doesn't look like we're going to get him. It doesn't look like Mazraoui is going to come to Barca, given that Bayern seem to have jumped ahead of us in the queue for him. They've offered him a really good deal, more wages than Barca were offering, and although Mazraoui was originally looking like he was going to come here, now he is certainly further away, and it is a very similar story when you're looking at Cesar Azpilicueta, somebody who could have come in and given us real depth at right back and also at centre back, somebody who's very, very experienced. It was originally reported that Azpilicueta would definitely sign for Barca, that it was pretty much a done deal for free in the summer, but again, that has very much changed, because right now I'd say he's much more likely to be remaining at Chelsea this summer, given their situation, of course, with the sanctions, with their owner's situation. They're very limited in what they're able to do with renewals, but one thing they can do is trigger a 1-year extension in Azpilicueta's deal. And it seems like right now, that is going to happen. So what are Barca going to do? That is the interesting thing right now. Are we going to look at more right-back options? Are we still going to go out and maybe spend money? Of course, Mazraoui was going to be on a free. Azpilicueta was going to be on a free. Are we actually willing to go and put money down to bring in a right-back? Or do we stick with what we have? Do you say, okay, maybe we'll renew Dani Alves for one more season? He can be the backup there to Sergio Dest, who will stay at the club, and we'll go on like that. I think actually this season we seemed a lot more stretched in that area because Alves hasn't been registered for the Europa League. I think actually if Alves was available in that competition, it wouldn't seem like we were so stretched. And I just wonder what we'll do, because obviously in the background as well, there are certain talks now circulating in the media that Sergio Roberto could stay. It's not completely ruled out. I would be personally quite surprised if it happened, but Barca apparently are having initial talks with his agent. Could he be another of those options at right back? But I just wonder there, looking at our full-back areas, I think they do lack a bit of depth, a bit of quality, and I still think Barca will be on the lookout this summer to add a player in both positions. But of course, guys, what I would really like right now is to know your thoughts on what we may see this summer from Barca in terms of our defence. What areas need strengthening most? Right now, with the players that have been rumoured, are we going to be doing enough? Is there enough quality coming in? Do we need to do more? Or target a player that we haven't discussed in today's video? Let me know all of those thoughts down below. It's interesting and fun, I feel, to look ahead at what I think is going to be a really exciting summer. I will, of course, see you soon and keep you up to date with all of the latest news. Thank you for your support and all of you tuning in here today. I will see you soon. But until next time, as always, Visca El Barça.